Taty Commonplace Quote Box.
Beautiful. People who get it will get it. People who don't, they don't have to. Okay, hi, hello. This is a super exciting video. We are going to go through my commonplace note cards, which I do when I am reading or watching movies or watching YouTube or TV shows, what have you, songs, all kinds of things. Now, I have a ton of books here that have cards in them that I will eventually do videos for as I go through them and add them to my box. But for now, we're going to go through the cards that I have starting off outside of my physical books, which will have dedicated videos. Okay, so introduction to this new series and an explanation of how I'm using these cards. First off, I have been a fan of using journaling cards for taking notes while I'm reading for a while. So I've been doing this for a couple of years, and then last year, in the middle or the latter half of the year, I started doing this for every single book that I read instead of just books that I was annotating, and now it's a whole big thing. I friggin' love journaling cards for book notes. Now, I was watching a channel here on YouTube called The Sunshine Archives by Robin Rose Lark. I actually discovered them on their old channel and watched a bunch of their original Commonplace box book videos, but love them so much that I am really excited that they're doing a more dedicated channel, which you can find here.
I'm Robbie, and welcome to the Sunshine Archives. I've decided to switch channels. I foresee this channel being a commonplace-centric channel. I go by Robbie now, and this is my channel.
They use index cards to take notes of quotes, and so I think that's an absolutely fantastic idea, and I decided to make my own quote box. So we're going to start off with all of the things that I have in here that are not from active reading. But first, let's quickly go over the layout of my quote cards, which I have the category, the number in that category, the quote, what book it's by or what piece of media it's by, who it's by, and where I sourced it. So that's the makeup of the cards that I do, and I focus personally on quotes that are complete thoughts or fit very well within a category. So that's how I do them. I also try and make sure it's things that are more useful outside of the book. I don't try and do things that are too specific to the book. So here are some quotes on books. Several of these I actually got from Vic's Commonplace Index videos. And so they were reading The Will to Change by Adrienne Rich. And the first quote that I have here, the books we borrowed trying to read each other's minds, paperbacks piling on both sides of the fireplace and piled besides the bed. Then I have this one, Living on Paper. If the point of philosophy is to clarify, then the point of literature is to mystify. And then finally, I do love secondhand books that open to the page some previous owner read oftenest. Then the next tab is Courage, a Mark Twain quote. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. And this I got from a YouTube video. Ethics by Julia Annis. Virtue ethics makes the realistic assumption that by the time you come to think about ethics and want to develop or improve your life as a whole, you already have a life. On fear, from the TV show Unbelievable, which is based off of true life events and unfortunately focuses on rape victims. But this one says, "Why did you pick me? I'm so scared of doing it again. I just stopped doing. It's made my world very small." Heartbreaking. Several on hell, which I actually got all from Vic. Great quotes. The Tempest by Shakespeare. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre. You remember all we were told about torture chambers, the fire and brimstones, the burning Mari, all wives' tales. There's no need for red-hot pokers. Hell is other people. And then lastly, and the hell is not the torture of pain, it is the torture of joy, which I think is a really pretty quote. Hope, not all things are bad. From Les Mis, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Beautiful. Ignorance, this is actually a One Piece quote. And it says, fools who don't respect the past are doomed to repeat it. And this is something that, you know, pops up a lot of places. A ironic quote, I don't even think about you. He couldn't wait to tell her just as soon as she called him back. And then kindness, another Mark Twain. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Several on knowledge, another Mark Twain. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. And I agree and don't agree at the same time with some of these quotes. Diary of a CEO. Those who hoard gold have riches for a moment. Those who hoard knowledge and skills have riches for a lifetime. The prosperity is what you know and what you can do. And then lastly, from The Girl Who Drank the Moon, knowledge is power, but it is a terrible power when it is hoarded and hidden. Lots on life. Hosier, All Things End, an amazing song, and it says, if there was anyone to ever get through this life with their heart still intact, they didn't do it right. Okay, then from Tuck Everlasting, you don't have to live forever, you just have to live. The Bell Jar. I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. From the Philosopher's Stone, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Oathbringer, you mostly failed. This is life. The longer you live, the more you fail. Failure is the mark of a life well lived. In turn, the only way to live without failure is to be of no use to anyone. Ah, so strong. And then Wild. It was my life, like all lives, mysterious and irrevocable and sacred, so very close, so very present, so very belonging to me. How wild it was to let it be. Beautiful. Another One Piece inspirational quote. Stop counting only those things that you have lost. What is gone is gone. You cannot get back what you've lost. What's more important now is what it is that you still have. Okay, lots of feminist quotes. These are on male dominance. Okay, so the song Hellfire, which I absolutely adore, by the way. Okay, and this is from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Don't let this siren cast her spell. Don't let her fire sear my flesh and bone. Destroy Esmeralda and let her taste the fires of hell, or else let her be mine and mine alone. Be mine or you will burn. Selfish. And then Labor by Paris Paloma, another song. If our loved died, would that be the worst thing? For somebody I thought was my savior, you sure make me do a whole lot of labor. It's so funny saying song quotes without singing them. Manipulation. This one I actually got from a Jack Edwards video where he was saying quotes to convince us to read his favorite books. And so this one is from Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory. You're not like other girls, he said to every girl. And then another quote from Labor. Apologies for my tongue, never yours. Busy lapping from flowing cup and stabbing with your fork. I know you're a smart man and weaponize the false incompetence, its dominance under a guise. Okay, then on mistakes, an Anne of Green Gables quote. I actually have not read this before, but I did enjoy the first couple of episodes of Anne with an E. And this quote says, there must be a limit to the mistakes one person can make, and when I get to the end of them, then I'll be through with them. That's a very comforting thought. Moon, The Will to Change, another Adrienne Rich quote. She whom the moon ruled like us levitating into the night sky, riding the polished lenses. I don't understand what that is saying, but it is very beautiful. I'm drawn to it regardless. I do really like it. Makes me want to read the book and get context. Famous quote on planning: plans are nothing, planning is everything. Eisenhower. Pretty. This is a song lyric from a song that I don't really listen to. Got it off of a YouTube video, and this particular line was great, and it says, "But if I give up on being pretty, I wouldn't know how to be alive. I should move to a brand new city and teach myself how to die." And it's from Brand New City by Mitski, which I did listen to the song after finding it, and it's okay. Okay, I have a couple of productivity quotes here. Lumen talks about, "When I am stuck for one moment, I leave it and do something else. With this method to work on different things simultaneously, I never encounter any mental blockages." I do that with reading all the time. This one I think I got from a YouTube video, and it resonated on productivity, and it says, "You don't have to get to 100% certainty on your big decisions. Get to 51%. And then when you get there, make the decision quickly and be at peace with the fact that you made the decision based on the information you had." And then this one's just from memory. Done is better than perfect. Ooh, I should also do work smarter, not harder. Oh well. Okay, several in relationships, both from that same Jack Edwards video. "Someone who will love you in all their damaged glory" is the book, and it says, "It occurred to her that she loved the idea of being in a relationship more than she loved any person she'd actually been in a relationship with." I know somebody who was like this, unfortunately. And then in The Dream House, this quote is, "Love cannot be won or lost. A relationship doesn't have a scoring system. We're partners paired against the world. We cannot succeed if we are at odds with each other." Several, again, on self-expression. Hosier did an interview, and he ended up saying, "People who get it will get it. People who don't, they don't have to." Powerful. Self-expression, the creative act. I actually have this book, but I got this off of a video, and I don't know where in the book it is, so I didn't slide it into the book because, yeah. I'll find it when I get there. Expressing oneself in the world and creativity are the same. It may not be possible to know who you are without somehow expressing it. A Charlie Kaufman quote that says, "Say who you are. Really say it in your life and in your work. Tell someone out there who is lost, someone not yet born, someone who won't be born for 500 years. Your writing will be a record of your time. It can't help but be. But more importantly, if you are honest about who you are, you'll help that person be less lonely in their world." Beautiful. Okay, and then I have read A Song of Fire and Ice, but that was like in college. So I actually got this from a video, and it says, "Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor. Then it can never be used to hurt you." Okay, we only have a couple more to go. So silence. "Don't mistake my silence for agreement." This was from the movie King Richard. And he says that when they were like, "Oh, you're so happy with this." And he's all like, "Excuse you, no." Actually not. Then on telling stories, we have Matthew Dix. And he says, "The story of how you're an amazing person who did an amazing thing and ended up in an amazing place is not a story. It's a recipe for a douchebag. The story of how you're a pathetic person who did a pathetic thing and remained pathetic is also not a story. It's a recipe for a sad sack." You need both to get a good story. Now, time, we have, "There is so much now that yesterday doesn't matter." And then last section, we have a couple on truth. This is from Unbelievable, the TV show again, and it says, "If the truth is convenient, if it doesn't fit what they expect, they won't believe you. They just won't." And another Mark Twain, "Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities and truth isn't." So these are the foundations of my commonplace quote box. If you're interested in seeing me add some cute, light-hearted, sapphic romance fantasy quotes, stay tuned for that. Or some quotes from my all-time favorite book, Ring Shout, about black monster hunters fighting Ku Klux Klan monsters, and a plethora of absolutely fantastic quotes. Stay tuned for that as well.